Welcome back on the channel, my friends. This video is going to show you exactly how to move your fiat in and out of crypto without having you to hand over your ID, a selfie, or your privacy. Because you know that the second you buy crypto on a platform like MoonPay or a regular centralized exchange, your real-world identity is permanently linked to your wallet address. Long are the days where we could just register on any centralized exchange just using a simple email. If nowadays you actually want to stay anonymous, you have to ditch the centralized exchanges and go peer-to-peer. So this video is going to show you all about it, starting with the absolute gold standard for privacy. And that, in my opinion, is Bisq. Bisq is a fully decentralized, open-source desktop application. It requires no registration or email. Users only need to download the software. So say goodbye to registrations at all. And this is how Bisq's privacy model works. Trades occur over Tor, and funds are held in a 2 out of 2 multi-sig escrow. This means that no central party controls the assets. That's one of the reasons why this is such a popular platform. There are limits though. New accounts have a security deposit limit, which typically can be around 0.01 Bitcoin, and this will increase as you successfully complete trades. When it comes to payment methods, it does support over 50 of them. It includes bank transfers, cash by mail, and face-to-face cash. There are still trade-offs though, and in my opinion those can be slower trade executions, which can take hours, and a much steeper learning curve when compared to centralized exchanges, for example. Next one is RoboSats. This is ideal for smaller, faster transactions. RoboSats operates on the Bitcoin Lightning Network via the Tor browser. This is how the privacy model works. Users generate a temporary robot avatar for each trade, ensuring no persistent identity is linked to transactions. No email or phone number is required. When it comes to limits, those are capped at approximately 3 million sats. I'm not going to tell you how much that is in dollars because depending on when you are watching the video, values will differ. In any case, 3 million sats are at around 0.03 Bitcoin. These are the limits per trade to ensure Lightning liquidity. When it comes to speed, settlements are near instant compared to Bisq's on-chain delays. The trade-off with RoboSats is that it is limited to Bitcoin and Lightning Network compatible wallets. It's less suitable for large fiat volumes. Next up is Hodl Hodl. I never used this personally myself, although I have an account on it. And Hodl Hodl is a non-custodial peer-to-peer marketplace that uses multi-sig escrow but operates via a web interface. So there is no need for downloading a software like with Bisq, for example. The privacy model on Hodl Hodl requires only an email address. No need for ID verification here. It does not hold user funds as well. So the limits here will be determined by the individual sellers. Generally, you'll get higher limits here than compared with RoboSats, but lower than established Bisq accounts. When it comes to payment methods, it does support 100 plus of them globally. The biggest trade-off with Hodl Hodl is that the platform is not fully decentralized, because the website acts as a coordinator, though important to note that funds still remain non-custodial. Now next up, I want to tell you about the best non-KYC options for crypto-to-crypto swaps. If you already hold crypto and need to swap assets without KYC, you can use GodX and StealthX. These instant swap services allow unlimited or at least very high volume exchanges without ID verification. When it comes to privacy, you do not need to register an account. Users simply need to send crypto to a generated address and receive the swapped assets. The fees here will be typically higher than standard decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, for example. You can expect anything in between 0.5 to 1.5% spread, but they do offer fixed rates and support for privacy coins like Monero, and that's a big plus in my opinion. Now let me tell you also about the regular decentralized exchanges. I talk a lot here on my channel when it comes to yield farming. You can use platforms like Uniswap, For Ethereum layer 2s, the overall Ethereum ecosystem is dominated by Uniswap and also PancakeSwap, which is very popular, but they are more tailored to the BNB chain, although PancakeSwap is also very usable for the Ethereum ecosystem. And there are many others. These are the most popular ones, but any of these do allow unlimited swapping directly from your wallet. As long as you have funds in your wallet, as long as there is enough liquidity in the pool, usually there is, these platforms do handle billions of dollars worth in crypto. So with these DEXs, you probably will not have any trouble to get any crypto you want on chain. The privacy here is as simple as this. No KYC ever, you just need to have a crypto wallet. However, all transactions are public on the blockchain, be aware of that, so users must employ their own operational security. For example, using new addresses to maintain privacy. When it comes to fees, they will be variable, they will depend on the blockchain you're using. They can be expensive on Ethereum, for example, but much cheaper on layer 2s or on the BNB chain. For example, layer 2s in the BNB chain will cost you fractions of cents or just a few cents per transaction. On Ethereum, it can be much more expensive, especially if the blockchain is too congested. All right, let's move on to the next option. This one is going to be a physical one. Bitcoin ATMs. I believe these are very much overlooked by the regular crypto user, but regulations have been cranking down on Bitcoin ATMs. So as time moves on, this might not be your best option, but right now it's still worth your while to go ahead, find a Bitcoin ATM near you, because as of 2026, still many Bitcoin ATMs do allow small purchases of crypto without ID. But like I said, limits are tightening, so I'm not sure how long it will take, but make the most out of it while you can. The limits with these Bitcoin ATMs are typically capped at around $1,000 per day. It's going to vary and depend on operators, for example, like CoinFlip on the US, and also local regulations. But it's a simple, easy way for anyone to dollar cost average and buy crypto daily. Now about privacy. It's very common for these machines to require a phone number for SMS verification in most cases, which can link your identity to the transaction unless you use a burner phone instead. So that's my advice to you. Go ahead and get one just for these transactions. Make sure your ID cannot be connected in any way, shape or form to that burner phone, and you should be good. And also let me note, these machines could also have themselves cameras, or if the machine itself does not have a camera, likely in the neighborhood there will be a camera around. So if you want to be extra careful and a bit more paranoid even, just wear a hat, a cap, a hoodie while you're interacting with the machine, some sunglasses, you know. You don't need to go crazy on it, but I think it's worth nothing to point this out, right? Now about the fees, they will be notoriously high with these machines. They can go to double digits and like 10% if not more, so pay attention to that as well. So let me wrap up all we covered so far. For the highest privacy, you can combine Bisq for larger fiat on-ramps and RoboSats for quick, smaller top-ups. You should avoid platforms that require phone numbers or email addresses if possible, and always use Tor when accessing these services. But again, even if the platform requires phone number or email addresses, you can use email alias or you can use a burner phone. So these are just ways for you to go around this and don't make it a roadblock. And that's about it, my friends. Plenty of options to on-ramp and off-ramp crypto, also crypto to crypto swaps, all of them with no KYC. If you enjoyed this type of content or if you want to suggest future videos, leave a comment down below. I'm also finishing up other videos on crypto OPSEC and also physical no KYC cards. So do stay tuned for those. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care. I'm going to wrap this one up. Keep exploring crypto and I'll see you in the next one.